Hey guys, the other weekend we were around the waterfront area, so we visited the Museum of Wellington City and Sea. The bottom floor is dedicated to the 20th century, and there is a mural that goes right around the whole room, and on that will be specific years picked out, and there will be some sort of story told about something that happened in that year in Wellington, and normally there will be some kind of object going along with it to illustrate that. And I actually learned a lot from this. There were a lot of stories I didn't know. Not all of them were particularly newsworthy things. Some of them were just fun little anecdotes or something about a particular immigrant community. So there were a lot of different little facts that I learned, which was really cool. It's cool to realize that you can think you know a lot, but there's always a lot more to learn about the city that you live in. There were also a lot of sound effects in the room, so sort of every now and then some sort of different noise would play, which they would all have something to do with one of the stories that was around the room. But sometimes before you got to that story, it would seem a bit random, like, why is there an elephant trumpeting? But it is all explained.
How nice. Whoa.
There was this room down the back which was really interesting. When I walked into it, I was kind of like, what on earth is this? But the walls were covered in letters, and it was actually really cool. They had the paper there, and they asked people to write down a memory that they have had in Wellington. And it was really cool to read all the different stories from people who've visited from all over the world, and it just makes you feel really good to read all these wonderful memories that people have had in your city and about what a great experience maybe living here for a short time or something like that has been for them. The room also had listening posts for well-known songs and poems, and trophies and just a bunch of different stuff related to Wellington. It had maps and areas to find the town or suburb where you live in the Wellington region, and this giant fish on the ground which represents the traditional Māori legend of the North Island being the fish of Maui. The top floor is dedicated to the naval history of the Wellington region, but then there's also this room here, which was where the harbour board used to meet, and it has this great big map of the city. And I just really like this room, especially this huge door and the big chair that I'm sitting in. There's also, of course, lots of naval-based displays, and there's definitely a focus on some of the naval disasters that have occurred in the Wellington region, particularly the Wahine ferry disaster.
Too bad. Go for a style like this for my wedding dress. No? It was all the rage in 1870.
The top floor is all about Wellington's social history in the 19th century, and
Why not?
I'm not sure why there's a rabbit there, but you know, what isn't helped by a rabbit. So the displays here focus on education, crime, home life, and basically everything related to just people's daily lives at this time, and some of it was quite interesting. But yeah, this museum is free, so I definitely recommend going if you're in Wellington.